I'm really excited right now because I'm doing my Justice League trailer review. As you know, I'm a huge DC and Justice League fan, and I have a confession to make. This trailer dropped, last Saturday in San Diego Comic Con in Hall H, and I saw it in Hall H because I was there to see it for the first time live with the audience. So this isn't going to be like my first time watching it, a fresh reaction, but I love it so much that I wanted to do one. I wanted to talk about this and put it on my channel because I want to be part of this. And I've watched it a million times, and every time I watch it, it's like it's the first time, seriously. The only thing that's different is I'm not wearing my glasses right now, so I don't know. I can see it pretty well because my laptop's like right in front of my face. So I should be able to see it pretty well and react to it really well. And I also want to talk about it. I'm not just going to watch it after it's over. I want to go into like this big analysis, shot by shot thing. Let's take a look there. It's weird to have like I guess a trailer or a teaser to introduce a full trailer. But I don't know, that's weird. I guess that's how they want to do it right now. Now this was a very unexpected way, I think, to open the trailer. The Justice League is about, DC's biggest superheroes and larger than life adventures. And here we have something that appears to be like a bank robbery or some kind of heist. Something that's very, ground level, man on the street. Not something you would necessarily expect to be in a Justice League movie. Not that, it's out of the realm of possibility, but just not what would first pop into your head. And they open with Wonder Woman, of course, as you would expect, because Wonder Woman is a hot character for the DCEU right now. And, that's why they would lead with her. They know interest in her is hot. She has a hit movie. And, to reel you in, it's like, if you want to see more of this awesome character, guess what? She's in Justice League and she's a prominent character. A lot of slow-mo in this shot. This is probably, I think, a Zack Snyder shot. I like slow-mo. I don't have a problem with it. I know one of the criticisms that people, lob at Snyder is that he uses slow-mo too much, but I don't know. I don't mind slow-mo at all. I mean, I don't think you should use it all the time, but I have no problem with it being used sparingly. And I think if he peppers it in here, at the right moments or when he needs it, it'll be perfectly fine. The Wonder Woman floor sweep, this is from the other trailer. One of the things I think you'll notice about this trailer overall is it's very different from the first one, or the previous one that came out in March. In that previous trailer, it was more like the style that they chose was like more of a music video style trailer, where it was like, a montage or a setup of certain scenes, cut to a song. In this case, it was the Beatles' Come Together song, like a cover of it. A lot of movie trailers are like that these days, and good ones. I mean, it's just an option you can take. They'll usually do some, stylized cover of a popular song or use the actual song itself to the images. This trailer, though, is much more of a story-based trailer where it's telling you more about the plot details. And people are responding really well from what I've seen on the internet. They like the other trailer, too. A lot of people like those, too. I mean, there's legions of YouTube videos of people liking the previous trailer. But this one, there's a huge departure or divergence in just tone and style. And I'm wondering if it's because we have a new director now, or if this was their plan all along. If this was Joss Whedon's decision to make this trailer like this, whereas the previous one was Zack Snyder's, or if this was something they had already intended.
What did you do this weekend, Diana?
Me? Nothing very interesting.
Now, I think it's cool that Diana, Wonder Woman, works in a museum. It fits the character. She's always been someone who's very concerned with history, especially her own cultural history. And it's interesting because in the Wonder Woman comics, they don't really show her with a job too much. It's like she's always Wonder Woman fighting crime, but, they never really stop and show, how does she make money? When Wonder Woman's not being Wonder Woman, what is she doing? They don't really the character's not really like that in the comics that much, so I like that the DC Extended Universe is showing that side of her. And I think her working, in the Louvre on antiquities or whatever kinds of jobs people in museums have, that suits her. And I like that.
The world remains in mourning after the death of the Superman.
The death of the Superman. Superman looms large in this trailer, even though he doesn't show up in it. And I think it speaks to the power of the character that Superman's absence, he's gone, but his shadow is just so big and he looms large. And I think this movie is definitely going to be a rebirth of Superman thematically to be more like the classic Superman, the one people think of when they think Superman in the comics. World Without Hope, right in this shot, in this part where they're talking about Superman. Superman's always been, I think, one of the superheroes synonymous with hope and, goodness and wonder, like Superman stories. It's almost like Superman stories like magic. It's all wonder, larger than life. He's a larger than life character because of all the powers he has. But he also is a guy who just wants to help people. And I think this movie is going to reemphasize that and frame Superman as the center of the DC universe in terms of what it's supposed to represent and its, sense of wonder and, I guess, moral fiber. And this trailer, the theme of hope and unity goes throughout it completely. And it's all linked to Superman. Commissioner Gordon. I like the style of Commissioner Gordon here. It's very stylized, old school. Is that a derby or whatever? He just looks like someone who's very, old school 1950s detective novel look. And that's interesting. I mean, Commissioner Gordon's a huge character, and he's been in all the Batman movies. I think the last time he looked close to this was in the old Tim Burton ones. But Commissioner Gordon in those Tim Burton Batman movies wasn't a very big character. He didn't have, many scenes. So I don't think people remember that Commissioner Gordon that well. So with J.K. Simmons looking like this, and because of the kind of actor J.K. Simmons is, I think Oscar nominated or Oscar winning, they're going to give him a lot to do. Not so much in Justice League, maybe, because I think his role in Justice League is small. But just in future DCEU movies and Batman movies, I think J.K. Simmons, I hope that they're going to give him enough scenes to really, really make a statement as Commissioner Gordon and be a Commissioner Gordon for the history books. Oh, they mentioned here, you might have missed it. That's a good thing about watching the same trailer a million times as I've done. I just now noticed that this radio guy that, or I guess voiceover that they put in here, that's somebody referencing the fact that Lex Luthor is in Arkham Asylum. You almost don't really catch it. And I'll bet a lot of people didn't catch that when they watched this trailer. But, that means Lex is still around. I mean, of course he's still around. He's not dead. But I wonder, how he'll show up in this movie and in what capacity. I don't imagine his role will be that big, but he'll be up to something. No show. The Gotham Bat. Now, why has the Gotham Bat been a no-show? I wonder. That's what they're saying here. I'm thinking that it's because, he feels guilty or is in mourning because of Superman's loss. Because even though in Batman vs. Superman, Batman didn't kill Superman, he really tried to, and he was kind of a jerk in Batman vs. Superman. And, I think he's feeling remorse over that, because he found out Superman's a good guy. Excuse me, nasal problems. Superman's a good guy, and he went to extreme lengths to kill a guy who was pretty good, and then he wound up dying anyway. And since Batman is, a good person and a hero, that's got to be weighing on him, and maybe it's causing him to, lean back a bit. And, reflect and ruminate and be guilty. I'm just, putting a lot in there, but that's just a guess. That's a great shot, by the way, of him standing on the gargoyle. Isn't Batman magnificent?
They said the age of heroes would never come again.
It has to.
And it will, because, the Justice League is here. I mean, they're telegraphing the age of heroes is coming again. And yeah, they're about to give it to us. In the previous trailer, I think they had this line just before they had that shot of them standing in a line, the 4 members of the Justice League so far, with the kind of orangey hue background, which was similar to what we saw in the opening of the Justice League Unlimited cartoon. Back to Themyscira. Isn't it beautiful? I wonder how much of this is an actual... In Wonder Woman, I think the Themyscira scenes, they used some place in Italy or Spain. And I wonder if they use the same place for this movie. And if they did, I wonder how much of this is the actual, island or location and how much of it is, VFX on top of that. Like matte painting or something. Or is it matte painting? I don't know. But I just wonder how much of this is real versus fake in this shot.
We don't have any more time.
Something is coming.
Here we see our first appearance in the DC Extended Universe of the Boom Tube and Mother Box. And I like it. They went for this honeycomb effect with the Boom Tube. And, you know, I guess they could, I don't know, the Boom Tube's not usually drawn with a honeycomb, like an energy honeycomb look in the comics, I don't think. But, you know, I guess they have creative license to make it different for the movies. I'm not saying it looks great, it's just different. Steppenwolf! Doesn't he look magnificent? Look at those horns, that giant axe. I hope he's the bad guy who's an actual bad guy. Like, he's giving them a run for their money. The Justice League is the most powerful super team in DC Comics. And they need, you know, a titanic threat. And I hope with Steppenwolf... Well, I'll talk more about Steppenwolf later in this, you know, discussion. But what I like his design. I like his design, but I hope that I would have liked it if they had put a bit more red highlights and accents in it like he has in the comics. Because right now he just seems very like metallic and monochrome. And it's not a bad look exactly, but it's just, you know, I just would have liked it to be more like the comics. But I guess that's the nitpicky comic book fan of me. I still think he looks great and magnificent. I like the horns. I like everything. Now, with Aquaman and the underwater scenes in here and in Aquaman's own movie that's coming up next year, modern technology is going to allow them to do some awesome underwater scenes that I don't think they could have done as well, you know, previously. And I think Justice League and Aquaman will give a chance to showcase, you know, how far movie technology has come. Because I don't think you could have done a movie, you know, like Aquaman as well as this looks, you know, 5 or 10 years ago. And Aquaman will have been the first, I think, real aquatic superhero to be there, you know. This is a place where DC beat Marvel, right? I mean, we don't have a Namor movie yet, and we're probably not going to get it for, you know, a while. Oop, no lanterns. I'm sure you heard that. Everybody heard that. They have announced that they've made it official. The Green Lanterns exist in this universe. And that means they're coming. If not in this movie, in a future one. I'm thinking the Green Lanterns might be teased or shown a little bit here. But they won't show up in fullness until Justice League 2 when Darkseid shows up. Because Darkseid's going to be an even bigger threat than Steppenwolf, right? And if you're going to need an army of space cops, I don't know, you're more likely going to need them there than here. We'll see, though. Maybe the Green Lanterns will show up in here. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. Now, a lot of people seem to think here that Bruce Wayne is looking at an image or a hologram of Supergirl, because I guess the leg looks thin to them. I think he's actually looking at Superman. It's just the angle is making some of the limbs look thinner or whatever. Because I think, like, for them to introduce Supergirl in Justice League like this, it's too soon and the wrong way to bring her up. I mean, Supergirl needs to be introduced in, like, a Superman movie and, you know, I think be slowly and organically integrated within the main DCU. I don't think this is Supergirl, though, so it's okay. I think it's Superman. That's a beautiful shot of the Flash. I love it. I can't get enough of Blue Lightning. I'm a sucker for, like, you know, energy kinds of effects and things like that, like lightning, ray blasts. And I just think the way they're using it with the Flash is just completely elegant. Ah, there you go. Steppenwolf showing with this giant axe, showing how tough he is. I love that. I'm a sucker for big, you know, really tough bad guys who can give the heroes a run for their money.
One misses the days when one's biggest concerns were exploding wind-up penguins.
Penguin shout out. The Penguin exists in this universe. And that was like the first, I guess, maybe joke of the trailer. This is cool. I don't know if this is them back on Apocalypse. Apocalypse is Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf was a new god, and Steppenwolf and Darkseid are new gods. And they come from a planet called Apocalypse. The new gods live on Apocalypse and New Genesis. 2 planets. One is Apocalypse, one is New Genesis. Apocalypse is the one where Steppenwolf and Darkseid come on, which is like, you know, the planet of the Dark Forces, the evil people. And this is either there, or maybe it's on Steppenwolf's ship, or he's made some kind of a makeshift base on Earth. It looks really good. And those are parademons around him. Parademons are like Darkseid's army of mindless warriors. And Steppenwolf, because Steppenwolf is Darkseid's general.
This is crazy. What's that?
I like this shot, looking up at Steppenwolf through his horns, a good angle. And those are the red skies. This is either on Apocalypse, or this is... because Apocalypse has red skies. That's just one of how it looks. Now, this is either on there, or he's on Earth, and he's starting to convert the Earth into an Apocalypse-like planet. I think that's his agenda in this movie. To convert or destroy the Earth to make it like Apocalypse, something like that. It looks really great, though.
Each of us, in some way, is held back.
Don't engage alone. We'll do this together.
Yeah, this is... I predicted in my... I did another video called 7 Things I'll Expect from Justice League, and I predicted that they would make Wonder Woman the leader, or at least the field leader commander of the League, because she's been the superhero the longest. And it looks like they're doing that here by having her give orders to them, because she's been around since, you know, at least World War I, right? And it's 2017, so that's 100 years of her being Wonder Woman. So she's been a superhero longer than any of the current members of the Justice League have been alive. So it makes sense with all that experience why she'd be the leader. More Flash and Blue Lightning. Ugh. The Flash movie is going to be epic looking.
It's really cool. You guys seem ready to do battle and stuff, but I've never...
A new shot of the team, you know, walking together in action. This is good. I like this, you know, because previously when it comes to promo material and shots, it's been like the League standing like in doorways or in hallways and stuff. It's nice to see a shot of them together, you know, in another location.
done battle. I've just pushed some people and run away.
Another joke. The Flash gets a lot of jokes in this trailer.
Relax, Alfred. I'll take it from here.
I like the way Cyborg delivers that line, or the way Ray Fisher delivers it. The way it's muted and emotionless. And, you know, that definitely just is emphasis that they're going to be doing the whole, like, am I more machine than man kind of theme with Cyborg, which is what you would do with a robotic character, right? In a movie like this. And Ray Fisher is, I think he's the only actor in the cast who has a theater background. And I thought his delivery was perfect here. I mean, good acting there. I hope Cyborg having a role in a blockbuster movie franchise is good, a good launching point for his career. And as an aside, there's a character, now that Cyborg is in the Justice League, we'll probably never see the Red Tornado in the Justice League movie or the DCEU. And for those of you who don't know, the Red Tornado in the DC Comics is a robot who joins the Justice League, and in the 70s. I think he first joined in the 70s. And they did a lot of the whole, you know, man versus machine plots with him. Like, he was a robot who was supposed to have a soul, but he didn't always know if he was human, that sort of thing. But now with Cyborg here, I think there's no room for the Red Tornado, unless they find another way to do that character. I know a version of the Red Tornado showed up in the Supergirl TV show, but he was kind of just a one-episode quasi, you know, villain of the week, you know, malfunctioning robot or whatever.
Do I know you?
There you go. There's Steppenwolf attacking with his giant axe. I think he's hitting a Batmobile or one of Batman's vehicles. And here we see a little bit of his face, a flash of it. And this is great. I hope with he looks great here. I hope with Steppenwolf, in a lot of superhero movies, or movies in general, sometimes the villain gets enough screen time to make a presence and for them to develop the character. But sometimes, like, the villain will just show up and do stuff in the third act, and we don't get much about his motivation, his or her motivation. And I hope with Steppenwolf they don't do that. I hope they give us enough where he leaves a statement. He's his own character. And, you know, we get to know who Steppenwolf is and his motivations. And I also think, you know, we could use him to explore a bit to introduce the New Gods, you know, the culture, where he comes from, the whole mission of the New Gods, that sort of thing, New Genesis and Apocalypse. And, you know, I hope they don't waste the opportunity with him.
Superman was a beacon to the world.
And here we show shots of him attacking other members of the League. And with a voiceover that Superman was a beacon to the world. There goes, you know, them emphasizing Superman again as a beacon of hope. This trailer's all about him.
He didn't just save people. He made them see the best parts of themselves. Alright.
I don't know. All right. I don't know what he's saying there, but, you know, Aquaman's definitely the bro of the team. It seems like.
I don't recognize this word. You don't have to recognize it. You just have to save it.
Them united again in a different location. Unite the League. We're all in this together. That's a theme. Hope and togetherness and people working together for a common good. Seems like it's going to be a theme of the Justice League. And since this is, you know, a huge movie in the DCEU, I think that's going to be at the core. They're going to try to make that a core of a lot of stuff going, you know, throughout the DC universe from here on forward. Oh, isn't that epic? Amazons fighting parademons on horseback. I think they're going for this epic, larger-than-life feel with this movie, and I'm totally, you know, co-sign that. I think this looks like a Greek painting, you know, come to life. It's beautiful. It's majestic. I think they're going to try to put a lot of scenes in like this in here, and I can't get enough of it. This is a beautiful, elegant thing. The Flash helps out Wonder Woman. There we go. Togetherness. We're all in this together. A lot of people like this part of the trailer. You know, Aquaman surfing a parademon. Aquaman and the Flash, I think, are going to be two breakout characters from this movie because they're cool and have a lot of stuff going on. I think Cyborg, you know, will probably stand out, but in a different way. I think, you know, he's going to be a bit more... They're going to do a bit more, like, interpersonal drama with him. Whereas with Flash and Aquaman, I think it'll be something different. But still great.
How many of you are there? Not enough. Do you really think that...
Oh, wow, they really just vanish. Huh? Oh, that's rude.
That's rude too, and I guess, you know, again, Flash gets more jokes. They seem to be wanting to do that with his character. And here we go with the Justice League movie logo. Now, with the Justice League, I wonder... This movie comes out in November, and I wonder, you know, when they do that, if they'll change in the comics the comic book logo for the Justice League comic book to look like it does in the movie. Because a lot of times these days they like to have synergy between the comics and the movies and TV shows and have them reflect the cinematic source material. And so I wonder if they'll do that with Justice League. Have this movie logo be the official comic book logo. I read the Justice League comic book, so I guess we'll find out. Oh, Jurassic Park, right? Homage. Remember that scene in Jurassic Park, I think, where a dinosaur comes and its footsteps cause shockwaves and make somebody's, you know, liquid in their glass shake.
You said you'd come. Now let's hope you're not too late.
Who is Alfred talking to? Is it Superman? That seems like the most likely candidate, although a lot of people are thinking he could be talking to a Green Lantern. I don't think it's a Green Lantern. I think it's Superman because they basically telegraphed throughout this entire trailer that Superman... This is all about Superman and you know he's going to show up. So I think this is him off camera. It could be a Green Lantern, but I don't think it is. All in this together, right? And, you know, hopefully the Warner Brothers is hoping that we as the viewers will be all in. And I think a lot of us are. I know I am. In November. Don't you wish November 17th was tomorrow? That's when this comes out. I do. They're cutting it close with the reshoots because I think they're reshooting, into August maybe. And, they still have to edit all that stuff. And there aren't that many months between August and November. I'm sure they'll pull it together. They're professionals. So, that is my review and discussion of the latest Justice League trailer. If you like that and want to see more of me doing this, please subscribe to my channel. And please like and comment and say whatever you think down below. Thank you very much for watching this with me. And talk to you soon. Bye-bye.